What's up, buddy? How you doing? Hope you're doing good. And I want to get your opinion on the Marvels. Now, I find this a very interesting situation. And I feel like this is one of these situations where I have to try really hard as a critic to be unbiased, okay? I want to go into these Marvel projects with an open mind, but it's becoming harder and harder given the amount of crap that's been coming out. I feel like I bring up these names all the time, but Multiverse of Madness, Doctor Strange, not a good movie. Thor: Love and Thunder, straight up bad movie. Ant-Man 3, miserably terrible movie. Guardians of the Galaxy 3, great, but we ain't getting James Gunn back, and that almost felt like its own thing. I tried watching Secret Invasion on Disney Plus. It's not doing anything for me. I am so soured on the Marvel experience, and I don't know what's gonna get me excited for it again. I don't know what's gonna save it, and I've got to be honest. It doesn't feel like the Marvels is gonna be the thing that saves the Marvel universe. But I have to acknowledge my biases. Okay, first of all, I've never really liked the character of Captain Marvel, not in the comics. I mean, I never really read her comics. She was not a big character when I was reading comics. But then I went to see the movie, or I finally watched the movie when it came to streaming or whatever else, and I went, oh, how did this make $1 billion? I guess it's a competently put together film, but ultimately it felt very clunky. It was not funny. The action was not good. At times I actually felt myself cringing. That big fight scene where they play I'm Just a Girl. I was like, oh my God, it's a little bit of a feminist. I'm gonna allow myself to use the word woke here. I don't normally use that word, but that's one of those situations where I go, if there was an appropriate word for this scene, it would be the word woke, and I'm okay using it there. I'll also say Monica Rambeau, who showed up in WandaVision, was like a big nothing of a character. I had no feelings about that character at all. I didn't even realize they were setting that character up to be a part of the Marvel Universe. I thought she was just a random person in the show. Then there's Miss Marvel. I tried to watch the show. I watched the first episode. It felt like a Disney Channel original show. Clearly something aimed at like 12-year-olds. Some people have told me it gets better. I just don't think it's for me. So at the end of the day, I'm trying to figure out, is there an audience for this film? I want to say, look, Captain Marvel made $1 billion. Maybe, for the first movie did. Maybe some of those people really fell in love with the character and they're going to come back. But I've always made the argument that, Captain Marvel was set in between the Endgame movies or whatever else, the Infinity War. And God, everybody was so hyped up on the Infinity War. How could you skip a movie in the middle that supposedly had a big tie-in to the big climax of the Marvel Cinematic Universe? It benefited a lot from that. We're now being given a Captain Marvel movie that's just like a standalone that doesn't even really tie into anything. Does this tie into Kang? I don't know what is this movie going to accomplish. It feels like the Marvel Universe is just standing in place, treading water. Nothing is moving. Here's another reason I'm not too hyped for this movie is the constant talk of reshoots. This is a movie that has been pushed back, I want to say, over a year. I think this was supposed to come out in 2022, but they had to go back after Ant-Man 3 was such a disaster and all this other stuff that they've gone back and done a ton of reshoots to try and fix this movie. Look, sometimes reshoots can get a movie over the hill and really make it something that kind of works. But I think anytime you're doing reshoots, it means you got a core product that's fundamentally broken. Marvel's undergoing reshoots to dump the goofy footage in the movie, fix the third act. After a string of failures, and especially the big Ant-Man was a big failure. Now, going back in after poor test screenings. That was another reason why I'm skeptical about this movie. They've done a bunch of test screenings. They've all apparently done very badly internally. Point is, we've got a new trailer for the Marvels. Now, I have not watched this yet. A few people on Twitter, I've seen their reactions. They're saying, I'm cautiously optimistic. I want it to be fun. I want it to be good. Granted, the people I'm seeing those reactions from, they're not exactly like trusted movie critics. They're maybe a little more politically invested in, a bunch of women having their big movie, which is fine. I have no problem with that. But I want to look at this with a real critical eye. I want to be fair, though. I want to be fair to this movie. The last trailer I thought looked terrible. Some people disagreed with me. They said, I don't know, it looks fun. I was like, what? The comedy did not land. The action looked cheap. The CGI looked cheap. But let's take a look at this. Let's see. Is there something here? Could this movie be a hit? Okay, let's full screen this thing, and I guess let's just play it. Let's take a look.
Carol Danvers, prodigal child of the Milky Way.
Nick Fury, my favorite one-eyed man of intrigue.
How goes it out there?
You know, cold, no air, space.
No objections so far, other than, do we really always have to set every trailer to some popular piece of music from the 80s or 90s? Can we please move past this trend? But okay, let's go. And didn't they use this for the last trailer too? Shouldn't every trailer have different music? I'm being pedantic now. I'm gonna be fair. We're gonna be fair. Okay.
Captain Marvel, the Annihilator. You took everything from me. And now I'm returning the favor.
Okay, so here's one thing I'm going to say, is that I actually am interested in... Captain Marvel is a very, like, kind of sci-fi character, let's say. A spacefaring character. She has the ability to fly through space and go to all these, you know, alien worlds. Which is something that was fun about Guardians of the Galaxy, exploring this greater universe outside of just Earth and Earth-based, you know, conflicts. And it looks like we're going to get some of that... But in a way, I almost kind of just want another Captain Marvel movie to see if this character can really grow and shine. By shoving in the other two characters, it feels a bit messy, where they're like, well, we got all these people, why don't we all put them in one movie? I would just prefer to see her exploring space and going on her own adventure. I feel like there's something you can do with this character. I did not like her character in the last movie, but I feel like having her exploring the universe by herself, making it this team-up movie, I don't understand that choice. I guess they're really pushing that Miss Marvel TV show. And the Monica Rambeau character is like a nothing. Why is she in this?
What is happening to me?
I'll say this, and I'm going to sound racist for it. It would actually, if it was just Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel... as like a buddy comedy, an older hero and a kid sidekick hero, I think you'd have a better formula. Having the third, the Monica Rambeau Captain Marvel type character, kind of just makes this seem unnecessarily messy, and I don't think it's gonna work. But let's see. She's entangled our powers, so the idea is their powers are swapping.
Strong theory.
You can...
Yeah, so the core, this is a weird plot device. That anytime they use their powers, they switch places. If you came to me with that script, if I was a Hollywood producer, I'd be like, why? What is interesting about that? I mean, there's ways you could have them swap places that isn't like a core aspect of the film. And also, that's just messy and confusing. I don't know. It's a really weird choice.
Absorb light. I can see.
Because let's be clear. Sorry to keep harping on this. We don't know a lot about these characters. Like, and for a lot of people, this is going to be the first time. A lot of people did not watch the Miss Marvel TV show. There's going to be people coming from different parts of the Marvel universe. Let's be clear. Some people may have only seen WandaVision. Some people may have only watched the Miss Marvel TV show. Some people may have only watched the movie Captain Marvel. So this is a chance in one movie to, everybody doesn't know all the characters or isn't that intimate with all of them, but you have the chance to show everybody, well, here's who they are, here's what their powers are, here's how they operate. Instead of doing that, you're having them swap their powers. So then, but people are going to be like, well, I don't even know what her powers are normally, because I've never met this character before. So to have her swap her powers with somebody else, this is like a third movie. You know, this would be the sequel. You need to do the setup movie where we learn everybody's powers, you intimately understand all these characters and all their different nuances and how they interact. And then if you want to do another movie after that where they swap powers, that would make a little more sense to me. Having them swap powers here is like a weird creative choice, it feels like.
And Kamala.
Who's Kamala?
Hi. She can turn light into physical matter, which I have never heard of.
I could totally show you.
No!
I've talked about how some of these sets are looking real cheap. This looks like plywood with like some LED lighting. This looks not good, but I'll say some of the CG is looking a little better. This looks okay. I don't hate this. Okay. How about that villain, huh?
She's targeting every planet we call home. I would never choose to bring anybody into this.
You are not the only thing standing between this and the universe.
Oh my god, we're a team.
Higher.
I don't know.
Further.
That was
Faster.
some sloppy wire work.
Who's a good kitty goose?
They are so reliant on that gag.
I can't. Can you?
I got it.
That gag with the cat is an alien. I know I've said this before, but are you gonna use that in every movie? In every movie, is the cat gonna have tentacles coming out of its mouth and kill some bad guys? I'm not getting anything out of this. One other point I wanted to make is that it seems like the villain, if I could find her anywhere in here. So the villain is another lady. I feel like in movies it's good when the villain has some sort of contrast to the heroes. I don't know. I guess I don't know. I just feel like it's too, if having a bunch of ladies fight a lady, she should at least be like either older or look different or have a different build. She just kind of looks like she could be one of them, honestly. I guess that could be fine. You know, it's not completely, but like Batman fights the Joker. Batman's a big, strong, tough guy. Joker's like a little skinny idiot. You know, here it's just a little too similar to our heroes. Regardless, I'm being nitpicky. I'm not getting anything out. They could go either way at this point. But just looking at it, like I'm leaning towards this is going to be another Ant-Man. This is going to be another Thor and Love and Thunder, where even if the budget's there, it's not reflected. I'm not seeing whatever this budget is. I don't know how they spend so much money on these movies because they don't look. This looks like a TV show. This does not have a cinematic look to it. It is not a beautiful work of art. It's just a bunch of CG slapped together. Yeah, you know what? That's honestly, and that's one thing that's really missing from the Marvel Universe, is you need to find some directors who have some artistic style, who can make something that has some real gravitas towards it. I remember watching Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and there are some shots in that, just like the spaceship whizzing through space, where I'm like, God, that looks beautiful. You know, like some real beautiful cinematic imagery that is exciting to watch. And again, when it's a spacefaring thing, that's another thing I'm upset about. They're in space, right? They're fighting some lady in space. God, you can do so much cool stuff with space. You have such cool sci-fi imagery, and instead you're sticking people in these you have these big CG explosions with a bunch of smoke and whatever else. You can't even see what's going on, or you're sticking them in hallways with a bunch of triangle walls and a bunch of crap. Look at how crappy this looks. Like, look at this set. This looks like my high school drama class like stage. This looks like plywood. I can see the seams in the floor. This is just like linoleum. What is this? And then just like, I don't know, put some triangles in the background, put some random shapes back there. This is space. It should look incredible. There should be quasars and supernovas outside the window. Not just a bunch of random geometric shit. I don't know. I'm being so nitpicky. I really am. But I have to be nitpicky because Marvel keeps letting me down. They keep giving me trash. And I'm tired of the trash. I keep looking for something to get me excited. And how do you sell a ticket to this? What do you tell people? You can't tell people, well, it's a Marvel movie. They're all good and the jokes are all good. No, because that's not true anymore. The Marvel movies are a waste of everybody's time at this point. And it's not leading into the Kang stuff. I'm sure there'll be some dumb Easter egg, or maybe there won't because Jonathan Majors is going to jail. So it's just this standalone. No, there won't be any Kang stuff because this movie was supposed to come out like two years ago. So this is just, again, another MCU movie that doesn't even have the appeal of tying into the broader MCU universe. I don't get. I look. Maybe it'll be a good movie, but everything about this to me just. I don't. What am I getting from this? What am I supposed to be excited about? Someone tell me. I've seen no chemistry between these women that makes me excited. I don't care about most of their characters, but maybe that's just me. Maybe you guys are out there and you think this looks fantastic. I don't know. I don't get it. It looks mediocre. It does not look good. Anyway, sorry for being a rampant misogynist who is hating on the movie trailer with the lady superheroes in it. I like lady superheroes. I really do. And you could, like, I liked that first Wonder Woman movie. That was pretty good. Second one was not good. You can do lady superheroes, but, like, you have to do something interesting with them. And I think jamming together these characters from different parts of the Marvel Universe who people are not really intimately familiar with. I think Miss Marvel did not have great viewing numbers. Neither did WandaVision. And so being like, oh, people are going to come. People saw Monica Rambeau in WandaVision, and now they're going to show up for the Marvels? I don't know, man. It seems like I would have done this. I would have done a buddy comedy, Miss Marvel, along with Captain Marvel. I would have left Monica Rambeau out of it. I know that sounds racist, but I just think she's a nothing character with nothing going on. I think you could have had a fun little, again, older superhero teaching younger superhero the ropes. I think there's something there. But this messy team-up three-way thing, swapping powers, going on a space adventure, I think it's too messy. And I think that's why they're doing reshoots. I think this movie's going to be a mess. But guys, let me know what you think. Don't forget, leave a comment down below. Hit that subscribe button. And we got more cool videos coming soon. Bye-bye.